What's up guys, my name is Brendan and today I want to share with you 5 educational tricking resources that you guys can use if you want to get better at tricking. Anybody who has tried tricking immediately understands that this sport is hard and we need to do everything we can to educate ourselves so that way we can get better at it safely and effectively. With that said, let's get started. The first educational resource I made for you guys, and that is my website, howtomastertricking.com. It's a resource that has all the information about me and what I do. I'm always working on it to make it better and improve it. I just added in a section titled How to Start Tricking. I hope it'll help people start tricking and feel like they can approach it more safely and feel like they can get better at it quicker. The second educational tricking resource that I want to talk about is club540.com. It was made by old school tricker Juji Mufu. I used it when I first started tricking and it's really good for teaching 2 things. 1, the tricking terminology. Because this sport pulls from so many different disciplines, it's really hard to learn the names of the tricks. And the second is how tricks scale up and level up. Club 540 has sections on beginner, intermediate, expert, advanced, and all of that is super important for approaching the sport and understanding how the tricks scale up, how cheat gainer builds into cork, and then later into double cork and triple cork. The third educational tricking resource is loopkicks.com Trictionary. I think this is the best resource if you want to sit down and really dissect tricks, to understand their landing stances, the variations, and how many rotations are going into them. When you approach tricking terminology, you can look at it like algebra and calculus. Algebra is like when you first learn the names of the tricks, like aerial, bead twist, cork. And then you get into the calculus where you're learning landing stances like semi or hyper, and you're learning variations like hyper hook or crowd awakener. All of that is super complicated, so I recommend checking out that site if you want to get a definitive guide to tricking terminology. The first 3 things I talked about are completely free and available for every tricker in the community. These were made by members of the community who just want to get their ideas out there, and they felt it was more important to push the ideas than to get paid, which is a super awesome thing. But there are a few tricking businesses that are growing and getting better and better every day. These are resources that are going into it from more of a professional standpoint, while all of us were just people who wanted to get our ideas out there to help the community. The fourth educational tricking resource is Adrenaline. Adrenaline not only makes battles, but they make tutorials. Adam Davenport is one of my favorite trickers, and he's also an Adrenaline athlete. By going on his page, you can look at tutorials that he made for skills that are his specialties, like Webster's. I love Adam, and I like what Adrenaline is doing. It's more of a battle and competitive platform than it is an educational one, but there's a lot of value to be had in those tutorials made by the professional athletes. The fifth educational tricking resource that I want to talk about is Cojo's Trick Lab. This is probably the best and most comprehensive educational resource that you can have as a tricker. It does cost money, but that money gets you access to over 400 videos. It's a great resource. I personally use it. I just watched Mike Guthrie's hurricane kick tutorial, so I will be working my hurricane kick and starting that progression chain. It has a ton of good information, and not just tricking tutorials, but also videos on mindset, videos on nutrition. It's a super important resource, and I would recommend every tricker check it out. Now guys, that is it, but this is just the beginning. Tricking is a really hard sport, all of us know it, and all of us want to help each other get better. That's why the tricking community is so strong, because we're all tackling a demon together. Tricking is hard. And we're all working together to get better at it and sharing our thoughts and helping each other progress. I only mentioned 5, but there's a ton of other great tricking resources. There's Trick.Theory.com, there's Uprise Tricking here on YouTube, there's the Tricking Guide, which I love and I think it's hilarious. There's a ton of other content out there, and that's not to mention like Plan Zero tutorials made by Ahmed. There's a ton of stuff out there, and we need to be motivated to keep going, keep learning, and to keep sharing, making content for each other to help each other grow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below. What's your favorite educational tricking resource? And what do you use to learn tricking? It's a hard sport and we could all use the help. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.